What's going on YouTube? Welcome to D&CGaming Legion. My name is Chris, and in today's video, I wanted to talk about the Dragon Ball Fighterz beta. So let me give you my thoughts on what I'd like and dislike about the beta, and my overall thoughts on whether I think the beta is good or not. So is the beta good? Well, yes and no. It's not bad, but there are quite a few issues going on with it. So let's just start off with what I like about the beta. Alright, so the controls feel very, very good. That's one of the best parts about this game is the controls just simply work perfectly. Whenever you input something, it works great. The gameplay is really fun. I love the attention to detail they put into the characters with not just how they look, but also the moves they do. The voice acting is great. All the quotes that they say are appropriate for the characters. The moves feel very satisfying to land as well as look at. And just the gameplay in general is just amazing. Also, there's intros and outros for every character, which is nice, depending on which characters you're fighting with. They say different lines, so that's another nice little feature they added. If you end the match with, like, say, a grab, or you end the match with, say, a ultimate attack, like you could either blow up the stage or send your opponent flying into the rocks. So it's really cool, like, things like that that make the gameplay just that much more satisfying to play. So that's definitely one of the best parts about the beta so far. The beta also features a tutorial mode, which is nice, so you could learn some of the basic controls and understand what you're doing. This is good because, you know, it helps you kind of get into the game. Another nice feature they have is when searching for a match, there's some preferences that you can set before searching for a match. So for instance, you could set the search to find people that only have a 4-bar connection or higher. This is good because it helps ensure that you'll find a match with a good connection, which is what we all want to see. And from what I've played from some of the online fights I've had, I never really experienced any form of lag. Pretty much every time I did a move, the inputs were instantaneous. I didn't see any input delay or anything like that while playing online, which is great. That's exactly what we want in a fighting game, is a good solid connection between both players. And the last positive thing about the beta that I really appreciate is they have battle replays. There's an option you could set. There's quite a few options they have, actually, for a bunch of different things, but one of the options they have is you could set it where every match is saved in the replay section of the game. So you can go watch replays of all the matches you've had in case you had any really, fun ones. So that's really nice. You don't have to have a capture card, or you don't have to, record from any other way. So you could just have a match saved and just rewatch it. That's a good thing. Oh, and one more thing. There's no Super Saiyan 4s in the beta! And now it's time to move on to the negatives. Oh boy, here we go. So, let's talk about the servers. They're shit. Oh yes, they are. So first, when you boot up the game, you have to join a server. You have to pick the server, join it, and sometimes that could be a hassle just even getting in. After you do finally get into the server, then when you try searching for a match, it takes forever. Seriously. Sometimes it takes an hour just to find one match. And I've had a few times where I've finally found a match, joined it, and disconnected halfway through the match, which really sucks. I've also had moments where I finally find an opponent, and they, I guess, choose to not accept the match. So I don't know if that's their fault, or if it's just the game is disconnecting them, but that's a problem. On top of that, you can also get disconnected from the lobby as well, and you have to get back in, and go through the process of searching for another match. So finding matches has been horrible. And something worth bearing in mind too, is this is a competitive fighting game with a heavy online focus. This is a game that doesn't really offer too much outside of its online. It has a story mode, we know that, and maybe some other stuff for offline play, but its main focus is fighting other players online. You need to have servers up and running and working at all times to get that experience. So, if the servers are having issues, then your online game is screwed. Now, I know someone's going to probably point out and be like, well, this is a beta. There's supposed to be problems. Yes, but a beta is not supposed to accurately represent the final product of the game. This game is going to be out another week or so. The thing is, I don't feel like they're going to have enough time to fix the servers when the game releases. If anything, this is more like a demo. And that should have you scared. That should have you worried. Because I highly doubt the servers are going to be ready when the game launches. So, honestly, if I'm being honest, I am questioning whether I even want to get this day one. I think I might wait. And I think if you're on the fence or like a little concerned about things like that too, you should wait as well and see just how the servers are before you buy this game. Because honestly, that's a big part of the game is the online. To make matters worse, there's also no practice mode. Now granted, you can replay all the tutorial missions, which is a nice thing, but there's no way to just simply sit down and practice and just pick whatever character you want and mess around with their combos and moves and figure stuff out. Now, a trick that I saw from a YouTuber called D&CGaming showed that you just play the last tutorial mission and then you could pause the game and you could view the moves for all the fighters that you're playing with in that mission. So that does help, because, and especially since a lot of the inputs are universal, but it still is not good enough. Now, you can play that tutorial mission while you are waiting to find a match, which is handy. However, after you can still kill your opponent in the tutorial mission. So while you're practicing combos, you can kill him. And then when you kill him, it boots you out of the mission, and you have a chance of being disconnected after you get booted out of the mission, which screws up the whole search thing, and then you gotta reconnect and all that stuff, and that's annoying. So the thing is, since you're not finding matches very often, and you don't really have a way to practice the game, it makes it difficult for newer players to get into this, because they don't really understand what's going on. I've had matches where I've jumped in and I completely get destroyed by certain opponents, because I don't fully understand every single thing in the game. I don't fully understand the controls and all the tricks that you can do with some of the characters, because I don't have time to simply sit down and practice it, because the game doesn't give me the option to do that. And that's a serious flaw. To make matters worse, they don't even have any private lobbies, so you can't even invite your friends and play with them. At least if you could do that, then you could kind of mess around and practice and get some things, figure some things out, but you can't even do that, which that's a shame. This also makes it difficult to try and balance the game when it, launches. I mean, how do we know which characters and attacks are overpowered and which ones are underpowered? If you can barely get in a fight, how do you know? It's difficult to tell. I mean, it didn't seem like any characters were really overpowered, but then again, I was only able to play like about 10 matches or so it's, hard to tell. Same thing with, lag. Like, I only played 10 matches. Maybe I got lucky all those 10 matches, and that's why I didn't experience any lag. For all I know, majority of the matches might have some lag issues when the game launches. Hard to tell. And that's what the beta should be answering for us, but it's not, and that's a problem. A few other minor complaints I also have with the beta are, okay, in the battle replay mode, again, I mentioned that's really cool, but they, for whatever reason, decided to add this announcer when you watch battle replays, and he commentates throughout the entire fight. And I don't know why. It's kind of annoying because he repeats the same dialogue over and over again, and I wish there was an option to turn that off. Or at the very least, switch the type of announcer he is. Like, the guy who's announcing right now is the World Tournament announcer, but I would like it if they had Jimmy Firecracker from the Cell games as an announcer. I think that'd be pretty cool. Also, while I do like the little hub world area, it's cool and all, it's charming, it's fun, I feel like it's 100% unnecessary and it was just a waste of resources. I don't see why they don't just simply have a main menu for like all this stuff and just pick it through the menu instead of having to go through the hub world and, getting everything. So overall, I'd say this beta is no higher than a 7 out of 10. The only reason I give it the 7 is because the controls feel good, the gameplay feels fun, and it has a tutorial mode to help you, understand some of the basic controls, but not having a practice mode, not having the servers work very good, and even after all this time when they said that they might extend the beta, but still they didn't, and they haven't really fixed the servers, at least from my experience. Honestly, that has me really worried for the game when it launches, and that's why I can't give it more than a 7, just because of the way everything is. So if you're even remotely concerned about this game on launch, I would just simply wait it out. See how things go when it launches, and if it ends up being good, then go pick it up. But, if you're worried that it's not going to be good, wait it out and just see what happens. So with that said, I would like to end this video. If you enjoyed anything about this video, hit the like button down below, and hit the subscribe button down below as well. Until next time, this is Chris from D&CGaming Legion, signing off.